Hello everyone, cncHD here and welcome to Lucifer Rise No Rush Tournament. This one is hosted by Marlboro Red and Lucifer Rise and sponsored by Lucifer Rise and aka Bolony. So let's jump into this. This is, like the name suggests, a no rush tournament. We have at the bottom left the GLA Vanilla by spL. At the top right, also the GLA Vanilla of Scuba. They have to play with GLA Mirror at the first game on one of a few selected 4-player maps. So the first one was picked as Fallen Empire, and how this thing works is we see this wall, this great wall of Fallen Empire. And both players are not allowed to cross that wall until we hit a 5-minute mark here on the top right at the timer. So until then, both players can build up. They are only allowed to build one super weapon. And anything I miss? Yeah, it also has to be live streamed. And I think that's it. So, like I said, sponsored by Lucifer Rise with $100 and aka Bolony with $40. So, a big prize pool here for this tournament. And let's jump right into what the players are doing. We can see a lot of fake arms stealers here for Scuba. spL at the other side playing it here very safe with 4 supply stashes. Same thing here for Scuba, but spL is a bit faster with finishing his supply stashes. But Scuba has the bigger pumpage here, if that is even a word. So 4 arm stealers, 2 of them are already real. He built a few fake ones to have the scaffolds ready in place. Workers coming in here, maybe to build some tunnels at the bridge. We are already at the half time of the 5-minute break. And both workers already saying hello here through the bridges. Green worker here standing under the bridge saying hello, what's up? Oh, a tunnel, that's nice. And yeah, besides that, nothing really happening there. Same here, but there's no worker on the bottom. And yeah, some beacons going up here for Scuba to see what the hell is going on here at the bottom. The 4 arm stealers are now real ones. We can see Scuba is pumping out a lot of quads and marauders. And we hit the 3-minute mark right now, so only 2 minutes left. We see a bunch of tunnels popping up here for spL, spamming out these RPGs, and now a few tunnels coming in as well for Scuba, maybe? No. Scuba just standing there with a few workers scouting the area. And fun fact is, the AI can actually garrison this building here. So this is a bug which the AI can abuse. Luckily, this doesn't work in a multiplayer match for real players. 1 marauder tank, lots of quads, and I'm curious to see if we have a palace already on the battlefield. There is no palace. Let's check spL. spL has a palace, and will we see a black market? Black market, yes, 2 of them. Fake ones, but they are happening for the extra upgrades. Okay, we hit the 4-minute mark. 1 minute to go until the players are allowed to bring their forces into the battlefield. We can see absolutely no tunnel protection for Scuba, so Scuba is just all in with all these units. spL doesn't know about this at all, but he will see in a bit as he just moved his units, and there it comes. 4 minutes, 20 seconds, and spL will be scared looking at the radar van, and this worker is actually crossing the line at 30 seconds too early, and the units are also crossing the line at 30 seconds too early. But maybe my clock is a bit behind, who knows, or too fast. Who actually knows? So a battle bus on the battlefield. This is actually very good against all these quads. Also the Scud launcher here doing no damage. but it's there to show some real rockets. And the battle bus is a really good choice, as there's only one Marauder tank, no Scorpion. There are no Scorpions with the Scorpion rocket upgrade. And let's see if these Scorpion rockets will help him against the battle bus. There it is, and the rockets come in, and the battle bus is toast. Tunnels are in scrap mode. And we can see more Scorpions coming out. Scuba is floating 3k cash, but I think it will be gone in just a bit. There's a high scrapped up Marauder tank. The tunnels are popping up. spL is building up his defenses. There's a tunnel going up here at the bottom as well. A quad cannon here trying to design it, not on guard mode. So but he's actually killing the tunnel there. So no guard mode needed. Oh, Marauder tank is destroyed. There's a high wetted Scud launcher there, and it will be able to go slowly into the tunnel. More Scorpions coming in here, and yeah, tunnel goes. Palace is fully garrisoned here with 5 rocket men. At least I think so. No, 3 rocket men. 3 Scorpions here on the left to make sure that there's nothing sneaking in, as Scuba's base is very undefended. Oh, tunnels again up here on the right. A few tunnels going up here for Scuba. Maybe he's going for the supply at the bottom right, who knows. Oh, big hit here by the Scud launcher, taking out, I think, 5 Scorpion tanks. That was big. Workers running around here, collecting that scrap. Ah, being killed there. And yeah, this Scud launcher is doing some heavy damage. Except for this rocket, this doesn't count. So, do we have upgrades yet for Scuba? There's absolutely no upgrade for Scuba. So, no AP bullets, no jungle repair, no radar scan, no worker shoes, nothing. So he's just focusing on spamming until his supplies run out, which will take a while. Scorpions, but they are easily gone. Where's the Scud launcher? Will we see the Scud launcher? No, we don't see it. More tunnels would be needed here, as the black markets are wide open now for the attacks. There's the Scud launcher. Nice hit here, taking out 3 with 1 rocket. I really enjoy watching the Scud launcher destroying all these Scorpion tanks. Little dancing Scorpion here at the bottom right. Not sure what they are doing. Oh, now it goes down. Ah, that was a high scrapped up Scorpion tank. Getting some workers here at the bottom. A huge blob here in the middle. Still no palace for Scuba, and we now see a little attack here on the top. The workers were taken out. Now a palace is finally going up for Scuba to get all these precious upgrades. Scuba on 5 supplies now, showing absolute dominance to his opponent. But this Scud launcher is still there. There it is, and Scuba needs to pay very close attention to that to not lose too many Scorpions to that attack. One goes down. Scud launcher sneaks into the tunnel again. Very annoying to deal with such a thing, but it is like it is. Maybe a little force fire here would help with the Scud launcher. Oh, he needs to be careful that he's not hitting his own Scorpions. Ooh, that was close. He almost got his own Scorpions there with 1 hit kill. Okay, let's see if spL will regain his territory. I really doubt that, as Scuba has a very good defender with 2 tunnels. But there is a pop, and spL will try to reclaim his territory. Let's see if he will actually succeed, but Scuba smells that. Even though he doesn't see it, he smells it. And there comes the push. More units will stream out of the tunnel any second. Any second. No. Tunnels popping up here, maybe for the Scud launcher to do some good damage against all these Scorpions. Ooh, battle bus now for Scuba. This is actually really good to deal with the Scud Launcher as it's quick and efficient. There it is, the deadly beast. 3-star promoted, highly scrapped up. That thing one-shot kills all these Scorpions. And there comes the battle bus trying to get a nice angle on that Scud Launcher. The Scud Launcher has only this tunnel here as a protection and this one. So will the battle bus try to get in here? Oh, there's another battle bus. So this bus retreats. Scorpions now go in. 3 rocket buggies trying to take out the Scud Launcher with heavy losses, but it's gone. It's finally gone after I think like 100 kills or so. Oh man, we need a death counter on all these units. That would be epic. Like in StarCraft 2, when units are upgraded with veterancy and they have the little counter on the bottom, which shows how many kills they have each. Or was it in StarCraft 1? On both? I think it was in both. That would be really nice for Zero actually, seeing how many units one unit killed. Oh, rocket buggies now for spL as well, but they are getting hammered. Black market gone, and supply again free for taking. These rocket buggies need to be very careful. One goes down to the Scorpion rockets. These are very deadly against buggies, as the Scorpion rockets have tracked down Scorpion. Rocket, I mean. They tracked their opponent down and there is no retreat possible. Ooh, a lot of rocket buggies there. Now taking out all these tunnels. Ooh, there was also a tunnel built here on the right. The black market still in its hole mode. And spL on rank 5, so we can expect an Anthrax bomb. Maybe here, or maybe here, but I think it's better placed right in front of the arms dealers. And we will see that Scuba is running very low with his supplies. He needs to focus on black markets now, otherwise his opponent will outspam him with cash as he has lots of black markets. Scuba just sitting on a few. There's the Scud Storm coming up, and remember, there's only one allowed, so if 2 Scud Storms are being placed down, Scuba will break the rules. Same counts for... Oh! Hits his own Scorpions! Wow, that was a misclick. Yeah, if spL does the same thing, he will also break the rules. More rocket buggies coming in, trying to get a nice kill here on the buggies of spL. Maybe, maybe not. No, maybe not. Just shooting on the RPGs. And spL now on the approach. Now for the first time crossing the bridge. The wall, the great wall of Fallen Empire, the Anthrax bomb coming in and will deliver its payload. And there it goes, Raider 1 will be destroyed. And I just noticed how ugly this cliff looks. Just look at this cliff, what happened here? It's just straight. What happened here? Who built that thing? That needs to be fixed, wow. Noticing this for the first time right now. Ah, deadly Scud launchers there, and Scud Storm now finished. Supplies are all depleted except for this one. The rest all depleted. So Scuba on very low income, but he has a few black markets, is building more. spL is approaching, has even more reinforcements coming in here. He has a massive boost with the cash. Scuba on a high count of rocket buggies, and I think that's the only unit he has, rocket buggies. He needs to be very careful with these Scorpions. One rocket might decimate 3 rocket buggies with one shot. Tunnels coming up, Scorpions being produced. Oh, big hit on the rocket buggies, killing 3 of them. That was a big hit here with the Scud launchers, and the RPG is dying to the toxin by spL. So spL killing his own man, not caring about his own RPG. Sneak attack coming up at the right side by Scuba, and Anthrax bomb coming in here right at the Scud Storm, no idea why. Oh, missed the target here with the rocket. Bit to the left, and then 4 rocket buckets would have been destroyed. Okay, and this looks like a successful defense here for Mr. Scuba. And spL really recovered here. He's now building more and more black markets. It's up off the cliffs, man. Just looks straight. It's really straight here, man. Who built that? Okay, more scorpions here in the line, waiting for the approach. We see a few radar bands for the scan to get the German Cal scanned if he enters the battlefield. Also to have a nice scout on placement for a sneak attack, maybe here, right next to the Scud Storm and the 4 black markets. Be here, but better. This would be a golden pop here. Golden pop with the sneak attack. I think that would kill in Scuba in an instant. As we can see on the cash, spL is like getting triple the amount of cash compared to Scuba. He's now on 700 and he's almost reaching the 2k of Scuba, so spL getting a high amount of cash here. And there's a sneak attack by spL. We will see a huge pop coming in. A huge pop coming in. There's the huge pop. There it is. The rocket bug is shooting on the scorpions. The scorpions need to retreat, getting one of them. Battle bar sneaking out, hammering down these rocket buggies, or at least trying to do so, getting 2 of them, I think. And yeah, again, successful defense here from Mr. Scuba. Wow, this map is really covered with red here on the bottom. Lots of tunnels, lots of production, and Scuba still building black markets, I think. Or did he cut the production? No, he's still building black markets. He tries to catch up with his opponent. If we look at the cash, we can see that both players are now pretty much equal. spL is getting a bit more cash here, as we can see. With a bit, I mean, pretty much the double amount. But I think Scuba catched up a bit. More black markets going up here, and the same thing on the bottom. So it's just black market spam all the way through. We never sneak attack here on... Oh, right in the heart of spL. The pop is happening, and is a pop happening by Scuba? No, absolutely not. There were the reinforcements here by spL, covered with 2 Scud launchers, so that sneak attack was wasted. Ooh! Did you see that? That was a bike with a hijacker, I mean a saboteur. And he just reset the counter, so no Scud Storm shooting. Nice action here by spL, getting his saboteur through. Maybe another saboteur on the command center, but that thing is pretty covered here. Maybe here through that corner. There's another Anthrax bomb coming through. Here on the scorpions, that will hit big. The Scud launcher will be destroyed, the rocket buggies will be finished off. There it goes, the scorpions all get destroyed, and Scuba getting free cash. spL removing the toxin cloud by his own Anthrax force fire. Which is a bug, which is accepted in the community. Accepted bug. There comes the rocket buggy spam. We have 3 large red dots. One is here with the collection of workers, one here which is right now moving, and one here with which is also moving. Oh, big pop here, a rocket landing, doing some splash damage here, and the bosses escape into the hole again. That is a massive attack here by spL. Let's see if spL will take the win home. It looks pretty much like it. A few covered rocket buggies here on the undercover mission. Sneak attack popping up on... There it is. There's the sneak attack. The massive red blob is coming in. There's the palace. So these scorpions need to be careful now, running directly into the battle buses. The bus is finishing off a lot of units. That is a lot of death here. And Scuba getting all that free cash. But spL is still pumping out, throwing down more tunnels, covering the ground, making sure that his scud launchers can escape into the hole. It's like an ant fight. The ants and the ant holes. It's like that, but with GLA. A little GPS scrambler on that deadly scud launcher. Scud Storm again on 2 minutes. Another Anthrax bomb here in front of the arms dealers. The Scorpions here taking a bit of damage. This position here will be finished off, so Scuba is only sitting on one corner of the map. Getting 1/4 there, and spL getting 3/4 of the map. The question now becomes is spL going for that saboteur action again, and will he succeed with that? We see another sneak attack here on the right side to cover the ground. And we need to keep an eye on the minimap if something fishy is coming in, as there's still this room here. He could sneak through here. It's very risky. It's extremely risky to get through here with a saboteur. So I think this time the Scud Storm will hit. Oh, Angry Mob coming in. But the Scorpions have the rockets and the Anthrax shells. So easy target against the mobs, only losing one single Scorpion there. We see more red dots here on the map, more blobs, I mean. Scorpion versus Scorpion here on the bottom, but there are more tunnels and even more tunnels popping up. Scorpions of Scuba need to retreat a bit here, and will we see more black markets happening? No, only tunnels. And the map is really red. Like it's extremely red. Like a red flood. Lots of Scorpions here clashing against each other. Would love to see some Marauder tanks. I know for sure that Scuba has the Marauder tank, but I'm not so sure about spL. I think spL went for the Scud Launcher promotion, and I'm not thinking, I know it because we saw the Scud Launcher in action, but I'm not sure if spL went for the Marauder tank. And it looks like Scuba is covering ground again. He is able to shoot with the Scud Storm, and I think he will shoot somewhere here at this position. I mean, target at the black markets maybe here would be perfect, but at this point spL has so much money. And he's shooting at this position. 2 black markets, 1 arms dealer. So it's okay. Not best, but okay. Nice sneak attack here happening on the top. Will he finish something? Yes, actually, 1 arms dealer. That's it. Okay, here's the pop by spL, and we will see now more units pop out any second, and this quarter will now belong to spL. Here are some reinforcements for Scuba, but this will not be enough. We saw another sneak attack, this time in the heart of spL's base. spL needs to get back to here. The pop is happening, and there is a tunnel here on the right side and a tunnel here on the top. So spL needs to protect that. He is focusing on the quarter. He is now moving in his units. Pop happening, and a toxin tractor even. Why is there a toxin tractor? Maybe a misclick? As there are only Scorpion tanks on the battlefield. Not sure what the Toxin Tractor is going to do. Bit of attack here happening, finishing off the black markets, finishing off the quarter here on the top left, and it's getting greener and greener here at the bottom. There are the reinforcements coming in, but spL really needs to do something about this. Scuba floating 5k cash is now concentrating here on the top with the 4 Scorpions, easy defend there. We saw an Einfrax bomb now here. spL focusing down here with his force fire and finishing off the Toxin Cloud, making the Einfrax bomb useless. And it looks like spL will slowly be able to reclaim his territory. He lost some stuff here. I think a few black markets. Not coming in here on the top, but there are enough Scorpion tanks for Scuba to defend that position. He's getting to the tunnel, finishing that hole off. Also, these tunnels all went bye-bye. Scorpion's still standing there, finishing off another black market and even destroying the hole, maybe? No, will survive. Going in for more Scorpion kills, and now everything is defeated there. Time for spL to rebuild. And the quarter now belongs to spL. He has now the possibility to send a few workers here to build some tunnels. Scuba went ahead and spent all his cash on Scorpions. We see now here the sneak attack and maybe a few workers popping out to build a few more tunnels. Or maybe not. See, Scuba is sitting on 48 units with a huge blob here, and spL is sitting on 58, so spL only has 10 more units. See another Anthrax bomb here coming in, and Scuba just focusing that down and making that Anthrax bomb also useless. Ooh, some 3BS Scrambler. And I think Scuba is running out of units here if this continues. If spL throws down a few more workers here and builds and builds and builds, this will look very difficult for Scuba actually. He's now on the move, but spL has more units here on the bottom. He's sitting on 7k and is now spending everything, as we can see. And I repeat myself, I really would love to see some Marauder tanks in this mix. I mean, Scorpions are fine, but Marauders would deal so much more damage, I think. More Scorpion clashes here happening on the top, and I just noticed that Scuba is only sitting on green Anthrax, while spL is sitting on blue Anthrax. I mean, it doesn't matter much as they are only building Scorpion tanks, but still, missing upgrade there and the money is there. And spL defended that very nicely, is now here on the top, but will lose these Scorpions for sure. I'm surprised to not see any more Scud launchers. And the Scudstorm ready to fire again. This time at this position will probably get the Black Market and the Armsealer and the Barracks and the tunnel. But I think the Black Market here is going to survive that.
The enemy has built a
and we now see the Scudstorm for spL, so he has enough, he's fed up and is building the super weapon of his own. Scorpions here scouting out the sneak attack, which will be destroyed. And what is happening here? Some more reinforcements coming in, big reinforcements here, big stream of units. I think they will clash again and again, destroy them both, as both have really big armies, and I don't think spL will be able to get through this. He needs more production facilities, I think, as his production is way too slow. Ooh, sneak attack here also happening for some reinforcements, and a sneak attack happening here at the base of spL. spL needs to be careful. The units are popping out here for spL and finishing off that tunnel. Good move. The Scorpions come in. Scuba has the Scorpions here on the left, finishing off the other tanks from the left. There are also a few rebels here in the mix, not sure why. And spL slowly getting eaten up here from the left and the top. He's in a very bad position here, is now relocating his Scorpions. Scuba is sending more Scorpions here to the mix. And spL lost that fight by the looks of it. Both Scud Storms on 3-minute mark. And more Scorpions coming in. So this is just a fight of Scorpion tanks. Scud launchers were stopped in production a long time ago. No rocket buggies, no battle buses, no RPGs, just pure Scorpion spam. I think both players are getting tired here, as spL has not yet built anything here. Tunnel destroyed. spL building more Scorpions. No more buildings popping up for Scuba, so Scuba also entirely stopped the building production. Scorpions coming in here from the bottom, but will be easily defended by Scuba. spL needs more units. He needs the Scud launchers again, and maybe some rocket buggies and no man spam. Only no man's spam. And here we can see the Scorpions coming in from the right and the left, sandwiching the army of spL. There's the Scud launcher, 2 Scud launchers. Nice. I love to see that. I mean, just we saw in the beginning how much damage these Scud launchers deal, and it's absolutely fantastic that he's building these things again. Scuba is annoyed by these, going in for the kill, will get the kill on this one, maybe? Yes, he gets the kill. There are more Scud launchers on the battlefield. Now it would be epic to see some Marauder tanks. Another sneak attack happening on the same location for the 3rd time in a row. Scud launchers are popping out, not sure why. No popping here on the top. Scuba is sending out his units, spreading them out. The Scud launcher not being able to shoot, bugging out here, now shooting on the sneak attack. Destroying 2 or 3 of these Scorpions. Will now be finished off. The Scud Storm is surviving this, and another push happening by Scuba on the top. And Frax Bomb coming in, and watch how fast the Scorpions will finish that off. Just force fire on the ground, and boom, there it goes. Lots of Scorpions here for Scuba. We have 39 units and 45 for spL, so very even. spL on sitting on a 15k cash. So he really needs to spam more. He needs to put his arm sealers on hotkeys. He has them on hotkeys. This is on hotkey. This is also on hotkey. Yes, all on the hotkey. Scuba this time shooting on the Scud Storm, finishing off the Scud Storm at the 2-second mark. Yep, no Scud shoot for spL. And will spL be able to hold off that attack? That is massive, but we need to consider that spL is sitting on these Scud launchers. He's just sitting here, only building, nothing else. Scuba now grouping his Scorpions. Maybe preparing for a free front attack. Let's see. Okay, spL now entirely spent his cash on more Scorpions. We are at 35 minutes now, so a very long game of just Scorpions. As Scuba now recovering ground here with his workers. Slowly but surely. Oh, Scorpions here, very sneaky. Sneak attack coming in here on the bottom. And we really see a free frontal assault, I think. Attack from the left, attack from the right, and attack from the middle. I like to see that. So spL is now focusing all his units on the left, but he still has this huge blob and he's going in for the kill at the top. Scuba only has a few scorpions there. He is busy fighting at the bottom left. These scud launchers will make him some really big trouble. Needs to retreat here to the top. The scud launchers chasing that, and on the top right we can see spL advancing. Massive scorpion clash here again. The red dots are just moving across the map, finishing off that tunnel. On the way, the scorpions of Scuba going in here, going in for the kill. The scorpions all getting destroyed here from spL. The scud launcher shooting, getting a few kills maybe. Also Anthrax Swarm coming in on the production line. And yeah, big clash. spL again covering the ground here on the top left, getting this quarter under his control again, and is sitting on 15k cash again. Oh, nice hit on the scud launchers. They will be finished off there very easily and quickly. Nice. Another scorpion clash. Scuba winning this. More coming in, no battle bosses, only scorpions and scud launchers. They also stopped building quad cannons entirely, because there's no need. These rockets will hit nothing but the dust. Oh, actually kill one scorpion there. I'm surprised. And it's funny that this supply stash is still alive after all this time. And I think spL now preparing for the final assault. He has 76 units, while Scuba is sitting on 49. So spL is sitting almost at double the amount of units. He's now covering the ground with tunnels, while Scuba is trying to get another attack here on the bottom. There are more scorpions sitting here. In the scud storm of Scuba will be able to shoot again in a bit. I don't think spL will be able to stop that. But what will Scuba hit? I mean, there's not really much to hit. All the buildings are spread out. Maybe he will get a kill on 20 scorpions, but that's pretty much it for Scuba. You can see then Scuba is again covering the ground here on the top left. It's just sitting here doing absolutely nothing. Scud launcher shooting on the palace. Scud storm is shooting here at the black mark. There's a sneak attack coming in, and spL needs to pop out, and Scud storm hitting the tunnel here. There it goes. And yes, I think Scuba wants to get rid of that scud storm. Oh, massive pop here by spL. The scorpions are streaming in, and Scuba is defending his ground, but will lose it in a bit. More scorpions popping out. And yeah, that's it for this attack, but Scuba getting a lot of kills. And look at the cash of spL, 25k. Nice Anthrax bomb on the scorpions, but the scorpions immediately removing the Anthrax. This Anthrax bomb is so useless on a GLA match. It's unbelievable. Oh, nice defend here, but actually not so nice. He lost a lot of units. I think he lost like 50 scorpions, while Scuba only lost half of that. Okay, some scud action happening here. spL is closing in on the production facilities of Scuba. Scorpions going in here for the kill. The scud launchers need to retreat. The 3-star scud launcher under pressure. And this looks pretty decent for spL. He has a lot of units. He just pressed double Q to select all map units on the battlefield, I think. No, he just selected a few. But he's going in for the kill. Just moving here through the base of Scuba. Scuba sending in his reinforcements, but there's not much left. spL on 117 units, Scuba on only 31. And there's the defeat finally after 41 minutes.
You are victorious.
My voice is getting really dry. Let's see how much cash they collected. 559k for spL and Scuba only 376k. Both created almost equally units, but only almost. spL created 160 more units. And units destroyed, we can see that Scuba got more kills because spL sent them in a bit careless. And that one pop there on the bottom was really difficult to handle. Okay, this was the first match. Let's move on to the second match. And we have match 2, which takes place on Tournament Island. And we will see another mirror, which is the China Vanilla mirror. So spL here at the bottom left. And Scuba on the top right. Sadly, both players have cyan and green. That is not good for the eyes on the minimap. You can't really separate cyan and green on the map. So I hope it will be alright. Especially on a sandy map like that. Which is very bright for the eyes as well. Okay, same rules apply for this match as for the first one. You have 5 minutes to build up, and then after the 5 minutes you are allowed to cross these bridges. I think the middle is free for all space, so you can just kill here as you like. I think, I'm not sure, I think. And yeah, let's see what both players will do. I'm actually very excited about the China Vanilla. And I hope that both players will not just spam bunkers here and then we watch 40 minutes of bunker versus bunker. That would be very boring. Like it's always the case for No Rush 10 games on Tournament Island. That is very boring. As this map here is very bunker-in-ish. Hey, Scuba here going for that supply, oil derricks. Yeah, we just need to watch them do something and then after 5 minutes see what both players will do. I hope for some Overlord tank spam with a nuclear missile silo in the support for the upgrades. That would be really awesome. Or some Inferno cannons, also really good. Nuke cannons, I think nuke cannons would be a bit of a waste, but I'm not so entirely sure about that. Could be an option. Or mix as well. Okay, that works as well. Or maybe going for 50 helixes. That would go epically, I think. For Mr. Scuba. We can see that spL is just going for the War Factory and the oil grab. And yes, I think we will see the helixes. They are the tank hunters. More barracks. Yeah, I think Scuba is going for the helix rush. In 5 minutes, I think he will be able to pump out 3 helixes, which are full, and then just kill everything here. He will get 1/4 for sure with this surprise attack. And after that, spL will have enough Gatlings to counter the airfield. Oh, that was a cat screaming in the background. And we can see that spL is doing the same thing here with the helix. I like that. So helix versus helix it will be. Propaganda center at 80%. And here we see a second airfield. No propaganda center for Scuba. 1 Gatling turret. 1 bunker. Bunker. Yeah. spL just bunkering up. This looks like a helix wall. Both players not knowing what the other player is doing. They're just seeing red guards here. and a Gatling turret.
I have many bullets to spare. Tell to the other storm begins.
And this will be really interesting to see. Helix versus Helix. But I think Scuba will have more Helixes on the battlefield. A massive tank hunter spam here for Mr. Scuba. And the time will be up in 50 seconds. And then Mr. Scuba will be able to attack. War Factory going up. And spL sitting on 5k. Scuba on 2k. And 5 Helixes. Maybe I should do the Dracula count. But no, I'm not doing. No, I'm not doing this. So let's see if spL will spot this. Interestingly, both players going for opposite corners. 3 helixes to the left and 5 helixes to the right. So both players will actually not meet each other. Attack at the same time with helixes. This is actually pretty funny stuff, to be honest. And spL definitely saw that coming. Few Gatling tanks, but no chain gun upgrade there. Few ECM tanks, 1 helix is going down. On the top we see no protection by Scuba. And the Oilderix going down, 2 of them are destroyed. And I think spL now hitting the ECM and Gatling tank button like insanely. Okay, here are the Gatling tanks. Chain gun upgrade would be really helpful now, as the chain gun upgrade just rips through these planes. Here are the Gatlings for Scuba. Scuba just lost his complete quarter here on the left. With that I mean the production. The other Gatling tanks also no chain gun upgrade for Mr. Scuba. Losing another helix. Helixes of Scuba are returning. spL just lost all his helixes, and both players now focusing on Gatling tanks. Oh, a new cannon by Mr. spL. Mix coming in. Ignoring that Gatling turret. Not sure what the MiG is doing there. 2 MiGs going down, maybe a misclick. The Gatlings just passing through, ignoring the Gatling turret absolutely at all. And yeah, spL on the move for his second win, but let's not underestimate Scuba here with his 3 helixes and his tank spam. I think that new cannon could be massive if the helix don't get a nice kill here. And I think Scuba is stopping the production on the helixes. He's focusing now on ECMs and tank hunters. Helix is coming in. Oh, he will go for the kill on the new cannon and he will get his kill. There it goes. New cannon is destroyed. The ECM tank as well. 2 more helixes here and the middle of the base of spL, and no Gatling tank. Oh, there's 1 Gatling tank. So the helixes of Scuba will come in and do massive amount of damage. The airfield is going down. The artillery strike coming in on the Oilderix, I think. Using 1 helix there. Supply center is destroyed, and the carpet on the second supply center. Lots of units here and a few more helixes coming in, I think. And this looks all the way bad for spL. I think spL is going to lose that here. 2 helixes versus 2 helixes. Lots of Gatling tanks. No chain gun upgrade. Helix is going down. Come on, guys. Get the chain gun upgrade. Get the chain gun upgrade. Come on. It's so good. spL on the move. There are 2 Gatlings and 1 ECM to stop that. And Helix is coming in. But they need to be very careful here, as this is dangerous field here. Let's check the Oilderix very quick. We have 0 here, 2 here, 0 here, 2 here. So both players on 2 Oilderix each. So pretty equal income for both players. War factory being destroyed here on the left, and this is actually a big loss for a China player, as they don't get as much money as GLA would get, and the war factory is massive with 2000 cost. It's not that you can just rebuild it in an instant. No, you have to invest big in that. Okay, scuba again on 1 quarter. Things are repeating again from the last game, but scuba is not out of this yet. We have these 2 helixes still standing there, a lot of ECM tanks here on the ground. Artillery strike coming in, perhaps on the supply center, or maybe on the oil derricks. Yeah, I think it's going to hit the oil derricks. This looks really decent for Mr. SPL. Yes, on the oil derricks, both are destroyed. That is a big loss for Scuba, as he's only on 2 supplies now. One being depleted in a bit, and the second one also depleted after 3k cash collected. And here comes a massive helix swarm. 5 helixes coming in on the bottom, finishing off the propaganda center. There's absolutely nothing to stop these helixes. I think these helixes are empty by Mr. SPL. Scuba going in massively here. 2 more Gatlings coming in, this time with the chain gun upgrade, and this will be very deadly for Mr. Scuba. He needs to be very careful, as this chain gun upgrade is just extremely deadly. Oh, a lot of Gatling tanks here. And a big push here on the top. Scuba going in and will cover that quarter and get his quarter back. SPL threw down some supply centers at the top, and he just saw 3 helixes going down for, I think, Scuba. Okay, quarter is secured. Now going in here to grab that supply center again with 9k remaining cash. Oh, losing another helix there. Carbon bomber coming in, finishing off the oil derricks, very important, but SPL sitting on 1 oil derrick still. I think this time SPL is losing this. This massive helix strike just put a huge hole into SPL's base. I'm not really sure if SPL is going to recover from that. Okay, both players are building up. They are struggling a lot with the cash, as there's not much left. Here's a big supply dock, which SPL can take, which he is now going to do. Bunker is still standing. And Scuba slowly preparing the attack to go in. 2 helixes now, this time coming in from SPL, but Scuba has the Gatling tanks in position. He also has the chain gun upgrade, so also SPL needs to be very careful. And don't think that both players will now proceed with helixes, as there are a lot of Gatlings on the battlefield. Carbon bomber and a mine drop and artillery strike coming in again. Those are retreating. I think the artillery strike is going on the oil derrick, which would be very important to cut off the income of SPL. And again, not finishing. And a mine drop on the hackers. Was it a mine? What was that thing? Oh, there it is. There's the mine drop in front of the war factory. Going in for the reinforcement pad capture. 3 helixes coming in by Scuba, but that is just too much. 3 Gatlings and 1 ECM. These helixes need to retreat. SPL bit cornered here. Bomber coming in. Going to finish off that supply center. I don't think the Gatling tanks will be able to stop that. No, and the supply center is surviving actually with few health points. 1 bomb was missing there. Oh, and Scuba also stole 2000 cash. What a thief. That was a dick move there. But I like it. Really good move. Another EMP drop coming in. And we can see Scuba on rank 5, spL only on rank 4, as we can see here on the counter. Supply center finished. spL on a very low cash. Actually, both players on very low cash. Collecting from the last remaining resources. Helix is coming in. Gatling support in the back. And a massive Helix swarm coming in by spL, running into that Gatling turret, taking a bit of hits. But there's a propaganda tower healing up the Helixes again. And looks like a base trade? Question mark? No, spL is sending his units back. And he will just directly fly into these 4 Gatling tanks. The Gatling tanks are positioning themselves, but the Helixes are retreating. That would have been massive for Scuba to shoot down all these 4 Helixes. Lots and lots of Gatling tanks on the battlefield with ECM coverage. And perhaps Scuba is not going in for the collection here by himself. Let's see. Gatling's getting into position. That looks a bit weird here. Now it's gone. Helix is on the bottom there. Okay, I think Scuba has this kill in his hands. As there's not really much left here for spL. The Gatling's going in, there's absolutely nothing to stop them except for a listening outpost. Here comes the attack. Listening outpost might be able to do some damage, but only just a tiny bit. Helix is now coming in. And there's only one Gatling to stop that, it looks like. Barracks going down. Here are the 4 Helixes by spL. Gatling turret opening fire. I mean the Gatling tank, not the turret. And my cat just eating my microphone cable. Not appreciated. Stop that. Bomber and mine drop coming in. Bomber again going on the Oilderic, I think. Oh no, War Factory this time and the Oilderic. And Oilderic again surviving. Also War Factory, so that bomber was pretty much useless. Helix is here trying to get a kill on the top, but the Gatlings see that, and Scuba is just patrolling here. No, the artillery strike coming in, finishing off that Oilderic. This time it will go down for sure. And yeah, this is the death blow for spL. Scuba is just hammering in. And it's actually artillery strike of spL, I just noticed. Hitting absolutely nothing but the ECM tank. One center being finished off, and that is the GG. Well played. spL is going to be defeated in a bit without reaching rank 5 in this game. There the Helix is coming in, trying to defend that, finishing off these Gatling tanks. But that will be it. The Gatling shooting down 1 Helix. No. Now it's going down. Here comes the rest of the Gatling tank army. Helix is again going in, losing 1 and losing the second one in a bit, but taking all these Gatling tanks with him. Really nice holding the ground here, and there goes the next building. Only 1 building remaining, and then spL will be defeated. There's the GG. Well played. spL has been defeated. Really back and forth here.
You have been defeated
By both players. And this will put both players on 1-1 score. spL 1, Scuba 1. And if you reach the first 3 wins, you win. The third match is taking place on Lone Eagle, or what is the map called? Lone Eagle. It is Lone Eagle. A map which was played very often in Command & Conquer Generals, I think also equally often in 0 Hour. It has these two bunkerish bridges which are just inviting you to place bunkers or laser turrets down here, very annoying. Most of the fights usually take place in the middle as it's very wide open, and you have these two Elderics which both allies are always fighting over. And then you have one noob in your team and he just grabs all two and you can say hello and goodbye to these Alderax. You also have the middle supply. Also both players usually fight for these, but pro players share these. There's also the combination that one player goes for 2 Alderax and the other player goes for 3 supplies. So this one and this one, 3 supplies. This map opens up a lot of possibilities, as we can see. And what we can also see is an USA mirror. USA mirror tend to be very boring. You will see Humvee army, the Humvee Armada builds the most Humvees and Avengers. spL here going for the oil grab, playing it very relaxed, and Scuba also here going for a very relaxed build. No pressure at all with the production facilities this time. The first game he really hammered these units out, this time he's laying back and putting up his feet and building all these supply centers. Also, fun fact is that Scuba usually plays in his bed with his laptop on his knees, and maybe only using the mouse pad, but sometimes also mouse support. And yeah, he's really playing very relaxed, as he usually writes. And here spL on all the supplies. There's also a tech building in the middle for each position. You have these drop zones, which are often ignored in the 2v2, as they don't do much. Unless you are an infantry general, then they are useful, but if you're a toxin general, then you're just getting a toxin tractor. I think the super weapon general has the best outcome with the Tomahawk. Okay, both players are now sitting on their Alderax, Scuba faster than spL. Some drones here being placed down on both positions, as we can see here in the sky. spL has this covered, and Scuba has nothing covered. Works as well. Okay, spL going here in for the capturing of the buildings. Scuba doing the same thing in the same time. We are closing in on the 4-minute mark. Both players need to start with the production. We can see the first Humvee spam begin by Scuba with 2 war factories, 2 barracks, so massive spam. spL sitting on 5k cash, doing a long range building with the missile defenders. Going in for strategy center, war factory, barracks, so a bit slower than Scuba. I think Scuba will just out spam him. Firebase here in the middle for scouting purposes, same on the top and on the bottom. And there comes the massive Humvee army, and I think my clock is not up to date with these players. Maybe they played with a bit of lag and for them it's 5 minutes. For me it's only 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So there must be some lag for that. The reason, I mean. Okay, Humvees coming in. There's only one firebase, 4 Humvees and a few missile defenders. That is still scary for Scuba. And like I said, these bridges just invite you to place defenses there, and then that's that for the rest of the game. Very bunkerish. I don't really like bridges.
Search and destroy.
And there is a search and destroy. 2 war factories, 2 barracks here for spL now as well. And an airfield coming up for Mr. Scuba. I like that play. Sneaking in a few Comanches, getting in for the sneaky kill. Can be very good. First drop zone for spL. No drop zone for scuba, and no strategy center for scuba. I'm surprised to see no strategy center, as they usually try to go for the search and destroy. 5 Humvees here by spL, but getting crushed there by scuba. Easy crush for scuba. More Humvees coming in, and at this point he can just press the V button on the War Factory, just spam out Humvees. spL on 7k cash. Scuba with a bit more experience points, so he got more kills. I would say that Scuba has the bigger army. Oh, there's the strategy center right at the front line. Same with the command center. That is a funny choice. Oh, that is a massive Humvee army here. I think spL has only half of the size of Scuba. Scuba now going in here on the bottom, but seeing that there's something coming in, so he comes back to defend his command center and strategy center. Oh, almost killing his own Humvee there with the splash damage. And here comes the Humvee clash, probably unloading all the missile defenders. And with probably, I mean, not at all. Nice laser lock here on the Humvee, getting it down. And Humvees by spL trying to sneak in here on the right, but there are more missile defenders standing here, going in for laser lock maybe. And there comes the laser lock. Laser locking down the Humvee, and there it goes. The whole army is defeated. Scuba still sitting on a nice size of Humvees here. Now spotting the artillery platform here, which will cause heavy damage to these Humvees. Killing one and a half Humvees. I expected more, to be honest. 2 Humvees. spL sees that, but spL on a very low Humvee count, I mean. Now losing his supply line here, the choppers need to retreat, and this is usually the end if this happens. Because it's really hard to come back from this when your opponent is on full spam mode. spL on 7k cash. Humvees are just moving in, but there's a good army here. Oh, a cruise. What? Crusader tank? What? Why? And now he's just swiping through here, finishing off all the choppers. One Humvee even going in for the oil direct kill. Now the supply line is in danger here. Scuba just moving through like a hot knife through butter. More choppers going down, and the supply drop zone finished. And the strategy center also in danger, and I think spL will throw down the GG now, as there is really no chance to come back from this. Scuba on a lot more Humvees here. Massive Humvee army in the back, also here. Tomahawk now being built by Scuba, nice choice. But at this point I don't think he needs it anymore, as this game is over. spL lost his whole income. And then comes the reinforcements, more Humvees coming out here, but Scuba has the upper hand and is just finishing off that War Factory here at the bottom. He also has no snipers on the battlefield. Airfield here on the battlefield for spL as well. But I don't think there will be something coming out of it. I also did not see anything from Scuba yet. Oh, there's a Colonel Burton. Colonel Burton here in the base of Scuba. Doing some sneaky kill, but there's the GG. Well played, spL. GG's out, even though the Burton was in the base of Scuba. There was no way to come back from this. And nicely played by Scuba. Which will place him on a 2-1 against spL. And we are now in the 4th match on a really nice map, which is called Tournament B. Very snowy, and I think it's a map from Red Alert 2. And this one is my favorite mirror, which is the tank mirror. Tank mirror always very exciting. So let's see what both players will do. I hope going for massive Battlemaster spam with autoloaders, a nuclear missile silo in the back, and nationalism with some easy M tanks and probably some helixes to spice things off. So let's see what both players will actually do. On this map, the rules say one player gets this half, the other player gets this half. They must share, and it's not allowed to take both, and the other player has to cry to get one. No, equally shared. One player this, the other player this. You can see that Scuba is going for the top, and spL not going for the bottom yet, but I think he will do this shortly. I think this map was played very often on the ladder, and also online, I mean. Same with Tournament A, which is the tropical version of this, but a bit changed. With a bit, I mean completely changed. And it's also a map from Red Alert 2. I also played a lot of games on these two maps, Tournament A and Tournament B. I really like these. I also created Tournament C, but sadly no one played that ever. But to be fair, it has some imbalances and some issues with texturing, so it's only fair that nobody is playing my Tournament C. But maybe in a few years someone will share some love to my Tournament C, as I put, I think, 9 hours into it. Actually, fun fact, I bought a rain track, so a music track where you can listen to rain falling down and the thunderstorm on the back. And I bought the 9-hour version on some internet webpage for like $6, I think. And I listened through the whole complete rain and thunderstorm track in a long night. And finished my Tournament C map in a 9-hour go. Was a really extended go on this map. It turned out very well, but like I said, it has some balance issues and some texturing issues. I think it's actually a free player map if I think of it. Yeah, it's actually a free player map. Tournament C. But let's get back to the game. Both players coming very close to the 5-minute mark. The Helix is up in the sky for Mr. Scuba, so I really love to see that. The Helix and the Propaganda Sentinel coming up. The island here on the left, very secured with 2 bunkers, and spL not going for the bottom right, and Scuba will see this. He's sending his Helix for the scout, but keep in mind he's not allowed to capture these 2 Aldrichs, because this is no rush, 5 minutes, and he's not allowed to get there in these first 5 minutes. He must stay away from there. Now Black Lotus is coming in, going for the oil grab at the 4-minute mark. Might be a bit too late as the Helix is here, and he is not allowed to finish that. But I'm again behind, it looks like. So 5 minutes are up, due to lag maybe, lag issues. So Aldrich being finished off without being taken. There's Lotus stealing nothing. Perhaps dying, a horrible death, but no, is getting back, and I can't see anything on this map as the colors are so not good for the eyes. Battlemasters here, lots of Battlemasters for spL, no upgrades whatsoever, and lots of Battlemasters on the top, also no upgrades. Helix coming in for the kill, and this might be very dangerous for spL as he has nothing here on the bottom. Except a Gatling tank with an ECM. Okay, this might be tricky, but he will lose this supply on the left for sure. So Scuba far ahead with the 2 oil rigs. spL just spent 1.5k on his Lotus for nothing. Where is Lotus actually?
General, our base is under attack.
Okay, Lotus is not in the base, but I think standing on the right something? No. Supply finished off. Gatling's coming in here and finishing off that Helix. Helix needs to deploy the tank hunters. We see a massive clash now happening here on the top. No garrisons being built, no buildings being garrisoned here by Scuba. And now the Battle Master's coming in. The upgrades are still not there yet for both players. An autoloader. Ah, there's the autoloader upgrade. spL on the autoloader upgrade. This might change things here actually. As they're only Battlemasters for Mr. Scuba, and the autoloaders are just hammering through these Battlemasters. Scuba needs an Helix against that. But there's no autoloader for Scuba as well, and now we can see autoloader versus autoloader, and Scuba is sitting on more tanks because more money. More spammage. Also bad position here for spL as Scuba has more units to shoot. Nicely positioned here. Or even frenzy on these Battlemasters. spL forced to retreat. There are some reinforcements incoming, but Scuba just going through, and he needs some dragon tanks because of this garrisons here. Scuba cannot get through there. spL rebuilt his supply here on the bottom. Has now 2 Battlemasters. Oh, just dropping them into the death nest. Wow. That was death. That was instant death there. Ooh, some nationalism upgrade here. Maybe we will see a nuclear missile silo in a bit. Let's see. We see a terrorist strike and some bomber action.
Unit lost.
Oh, that is going to be massive. There is the ECM, EMP, bomber, artillery strike. Actually did nothing.
Unit
I think
lost.
Scuba miscalculated that a bit, but that happens. Wow, the ground is shaking, man. My screen is shaking like crazy here. My table almost falling over because it's so much rumbling here on my screen. Rumbles like crazy. It's like having a PlayStation with the rumble pack, and you're sitting here and your whole screen is like doing this huge rumble. Who needs a rumble pack if you have Scuba and spL fighting in a tank mirror? EMP drop, but that was pretty useless. Unless he has a bomber, which I don't think he has. Now sending his units slowly in. He'll probably get some kills here, positioning himself in directly in the Battlemasters, directly in the Battlemasters. Artillery strike coming in. What is he's shooting on the oil rigs, it looks like. Will the oil rigs go down? Maybe one? Maybe? No, actually nothing. Wow. Battlemasters need to retreat again because garrisoned building. Now it would be nice to see a dragon tank coming in. The tank hunters here on the top. And they are just standing there now. No dragon. Not a single one. Base very open for a helix attack. Getting turrets popping up. And where's the nuke silo? Come on, let's build a nuke silo. There's a helix now. Helix here on the battlefield. More coming in, and this might be the death blow for spL. Oh, lots of Battlemasters here. Just look at this massive army, but there is no dragon tank at all. So no nuke silo. Oh, there are the dragon tanks. We see a bomber coming in here. Attacks are not happening in the top, but on the bottom only. That bomber might be heavy. Let's check. There comes the bomber, and it's absolutely hitting everything. Oh, nice hit here. That was beautiful. I think like 9 battle masters there. Oof. That massive damage. Ooh, that is a full tower here, but now getting hammered by all these battle masters. Frenzied battle masters coming in here on the top, but a bit out of position. Both of them actually a bit out of position. Both tank armies are just streaming in, while we can see a Velotus on the left. Helix also here. Finishing the Gatling, finishing the battle masters, and finishing itself. Mine drop here on the battle masters. Battle masters surviving that because too beefy. Lotus now here stealing cash, very greedy. And yeah, overall nice attack, but I think Scuba has the upper hand in this attack. Lotus still stealing cash here, like a big thief. Scuba on 10k cash now, spending everything on tanks. Just going through these mines, not losing a single battle master there actually. Yellow ECM, which looks like was peed on. Oh, nice hit at the tank hunters. That was beautiful to watch. Oh, nice action here. spL just hammering through these defenses. Scuba needs definitely more here as reinforcements. Here's the Helix. Lotus still capturing. Look at that. Lots of cash. 1k stolen again. And spL not realizing this. And as we just heard, Scuba is going for a massive Helix build. Victory strike coming in, and another cash steal here. Oh, a big, massive tank master blob. Battle master blob, I mean, is coming in here. ECM not covering his body. His Gatling's getting shot. Oh, nice bomber coming in. Nice bomber on the battle masters, finishing everything. Oh my god. Wow. Holy shit, and that was the instant GG. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I would have rage quit after that. That was a massive hit here with the bomber. Oof. Yeah, I think the Tank Mirror was the best game so far out of these 4. And this puts Scuba at 3-1. He is the winner. In this best of 5 against spL, he proceeds to the next round. And yeah, this has been your cncHD. Thank you for watching, and this was the No Rush 5-minute tournament hosted by Marlboro Red and Lucifer Rise. Till the next time, this is your cncHD. Goodbye.